I just know that you can.
Hi, we're group 14 today. We're going to present about our final project for databases. So starting off here, we click the main.jsp page and we hit run on that to get to our front page here where you have the options to log in or create an account. Now beforehand, we created two accounts, which is 22 and 33, but I'm going to go through the process of creating an account right now. We're going to call this account 1 and also put its password to be 1. So we could go through there and we hit that create and now our account's created. Now let's check this out by logging into this account. So after we log in here, we're brought to this nice main dashboard page, which has a lot of the functionalities that are key to our individual users. So you guys want to break it down now?
Yeah, Jeff, you want to create a listing?
Yeah, so I'll just take control over the screen. Okay, so we have this create a listing form, and what you can do is you could put in a brand, an item name. Oh, wait. And then you could specify like what type of item it is. So you could do tops, bottom, and shoes. I'll just leave it at shoes. And then you could put the shoe size in down here. And if you had picked either bottoms or tops, you could do small, medium, or large. And then this is the bid increment text field, which is the increment that you want buyers to bid on your item. So if you start at like $10, you would want the minimum bid after that to be 12. So I'll put that as 2. I'll put this one as a start price of $10. And then here you just follow the format for the date and time. So we'll put this as the date. And then you have to follow, you have to do this in military time. So we'll do like 10, 10, and 10.
Do you want to make the listing so it ends soon?
Oh, yeah. So for this listing, let's see, we'll put April 4th, 24. And since we're following military time, it's 11:21 p.m. So that would be 23. And I'll make it end in about 6 minutes. So 21 and 0. And we only have the end date and time here because it takes like the current time of your computer. And then for minimum reserve price, you could have it at 0. You could have it at like whatever you want your item to sell for. Now I'll just create that listing.
It was the current time is 21, so we couldn't create it.
All right, restart.
Oh, bruh.
No, we don't have to restart. Just make a listing. It's fine.
All right,
that's good. That's showing it's working. Keep going.
Okay, so let me just really run through this really quick.
Sorry about that.
Okay, so the correct time should be 23. I'll put it at 29 and 0. And then I'll also create another one that ends like a little later. Let's make this one tops, large, $10. Let's just set the time. Okay, so now the two listings show up on the main user dashboard.
Okay, let me get access request. Thank you. So since we are logged into the user that created the listing, if we try to make a bid, it says that the seller cannot bid on their own item. So we're going to log out and log into an account that can do that. And these are the accounts we've pre-made. So let's try to, when does this end? This one ends soon, so we can check a winner on this account. So let's make a bid. So we can input the price that we want to bid in, but we must make sure that it is higher than this minimum bid increment that the seller has specified. So the current price is 10. So at minimum, we must place 11. And if we create a bid, it will have worked. And let's log out to another user and try to auto bid on that. So if we want to auto bid, we can place 12. Let's say we want to go up to 20, and we'll make it go up by 2. And if we create a bid, the auto bid has been placed. So let's go back to the original account and bid higher and show that the auto bid is working. So if we bid 13, the current price will update to 15 because it'll auto increment to higher than what we had before. And if we go to alerts, it'll show the current status of the bid for all those users. That we'll check it for the clothing ID. We'll check if you're the highest bidder, if you won, which in this case it hasn't ended yet. And we'll come back to it when it's ended. And then the upper limit hasn't been surpassed for this user. Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. I'll just request the access again. Okay, so now I'll go back in as 1, which was the user that we created these 2 listings in. And really quick, when you're on the dashboard, you could search for like a brand, or if you want like a sweater, you could search for that. You could also search for like the item type, so tops. And since we are the ones that created these listings, we could go to my selling history and it'll show us like the listings that we're currently selling. And if we go back to the dashboard, we could also go to my bid history. But since we never bid on anything yet, it'll say that no data is available in the table. But usually you'll see the clothing ID, the brand, the name, and the number of bids that you placed on that specific item. So now, if I log back out and go into 2 as the user, we can also create an alert for like a future item that we want. So say if we want Adidas shoes instead of Nike shoes, we could create a watch alert for that. And then we could set that. So whenever somebody lists that Adidas shoe name, we'll get an alert for that. And to view that, we would go here and we have the item name. And this will let us know if someone has listed like the item that we're looking for. Okay, and I guess I'll pass it over to Robert.
Yeah, so while we're here, let's check out the customer representative service from our user's end. So what they could do here is they log in here, and this is basically an interface that both the customer representative and the users get to see. So all our users get to see the same table. Therefore, they know if their question's been asked before, and they could also browse through other questions using our search bar over here, just to check if their question's already been answered. But let's post one real quick. This user is going to say hi and send that over to our customer representative. And we immediately see that get updated in our table here. And we have this nice waiting for answer. So let's check this out from the customer representative side. But first, we're actually going to have to make a customer representative account. And we're going to do that by going through our admin and logging in through there. So we go back here, log out, and we're at our main page now. And as you'll see, we included in our SQL that there is a admin account that you could pre-log into. It's already in our database. So you could do that by going admin, admin. And what's really nice is it's the same login page that everyone else uses. So we'll go into here, and now you're at the special admin dashboard. So from here, they have two main responsibilities. Your admin can create a customer representative account, and it could also run and generate all the different sales reports. But right now, since we're explaining customer representative, let's take a look at creating a customer representative. So right here, we're at this page. This is where we're going to input our username for our customer representative and our password. We'll just do a simple CR, hit create, and that's done. So let's check it out by logging into that. So back to the main login page again, we'll hit CR, put that in, CR, and we'll log in. Now, they could see all the bids that are currently on the site and monitor that. But let's check out the customer representative service. So here you see a different interface that comes with being a customer representative. But you see here mainly the question and answer section here. Customer representative can also post a question, but here is the main thing. We want to edit and put an answer for that question. So our question here is hi, and we're going to answer back with hi. So let's submit that. And you'll see here that we have that nice response that shows up next to that question. And this will also be available for all our users to view when they go on to their customer representative page. Now, what also comes along with being a customer representative is basically being able to edit account information. So you could change the password for an existing user by entering their current account ID and then adding the new password that they desire. You could also remove an existing bid. Basically, what you'll do is look at a bid ID and input that bid ID there, as well as the account ID and the clothing ID. And this is all found on that other page. And we'll actually run through this in a second. But let me talk about the last one down here. This is basically removing an item off of the auction. So you're going to enter in the clothing ID that the item is. This comes in handy if, say, it's an illegal auction and we want to remove that altogether. This will delete that and all the bids that get associated with it. But let's try out this removing an existing bid. So what we'll do as the customer representative is navigate back here, and what's nice is we want to view the history of our particular item. So we could look at this one. This one doesn't have any bids yet, but let's check out this one. So here we see there's quite a few bids here. This is what they were previously interacting with. And right now we see that this bid is the highest. So let's remove that bid. So take note here that the bid ID is 5. The current bidder is 3, and the CID is 1. So we're going to go back now to our customer representative page, and we're going to go down to here, and we're going to say remove an existing bid. But real quickly, I just want to explain that the price is going to change. So we see the current price at 15, that's going to drop. But let's show how that happens. So we're going to enter in our bid ID, which was 5, our account ID, which was 3, and our clothing ID, which was 1, and we'll hit submit there. And here we are. Let's go check for an update here. So you could see that we have this updated on the current page now. That previously was our maximum bid. However, we wanted to remove that bid, so it was removed, and we also updated the current price that's associated there to the next lower bid. And that's opened up for bidding again. Just to, put this into position here, let's remove one of our auctions. So we're going to remove clothing ID 2 here. So we'll come here, we'll put in our clothing ID, which is 2. We'll hit submit. And here we are. Let's check in the dashboard, and we see that that auction is gone now. So that item is off of our site and can't be bid on any longer. So let me just show you again that that question and answer field worked. We can log back into an existing user, say they want to check out, you know, the question and answer. They could see hi, and our response back was hi to that question. So that mainly covers a lot of the customer representative functions. There were a few that I didn't get to demonstrate, but let's go through admin. So logging into our admin again at the main login page. So we went through the process of already creating a customer representative, but let's look at generating sales reports. So here we see total earnings, number one, as well as total earnings by our 3 item types. Now, none of our auctions have completed yet, so we don't have any numbers in here, but when you go through the process and you complete an auction with bids and there is a winner declared, you'll see that these numbers will get updated by each of our 3 categories on our site down here, as well as with the total tabulation of all our earnings across these 3 different categories. So we have it broken down here and up here. A lot of these are going to have null values, but we could look at best buyers here. I'm actually going to go through some auctions now so that I could better demonstrate how this process works. But let's create some auctions here. So we'll go with my name here. And we'll put up a shoe there, and the shoe size will be 8.5. Our bid increment will be 1. Our start price we'll put at 20. I'm putting in our date. And we won't start this with a reserve. Uh-oh. I think I put in the wrong time.
Yeah, I think the time was a little messed up.
All right, so with that last thing, I added 2 colons there, so that didn't get made. But I didn't want you to sit through us making a bunch of different listings, so we made listings now and we've bidded on them. So now they have winners and you could see some numbers. But let's check it out from the admin's perspective here. So logging back into admin, generate sales report. You could see here now that we have some winnings. We have totals that come in, and these are all dynamic here. They get updated, you know, every time an auction closes. Each of these numbers get updated and retabulated. But let's first check out our best buyers. So here we'll see our list. We actually see that number 1's doing pretty good. They have 2 wins currently, and 3 has 1 win. So as more and more people bid, this will get more filled up, and we get to see, you know, who our best buyers are on our site based off their number of wins. Back to this, let's check out our best selling items. We see here that everything's pretty even. There's only been 1 sale of each of these. So not much to show there, but as more highs go on sale, or as more Roberts go on sale, or JT, this number will continue to grow, and we could get a good picture of what's really selling. Back to here though, if we want to look up an end user sales report, we could see how much this particular user is making and earning on our site. So an account we've been using a lot is number 1. So let's check out how much they've been earning. We see here that number 1 has actually earned $80 off of their auctions. So basically you could just throw in any username there and see how much they've been earning on the site. And we also have a similar system for per item sales. So if you really just want to get, what the sales are like on one particular item, we could put in a name here, and we could see that Robert's actually made $80 when selling that product. So that was the earnings on that product. So that pretty much does it here with our different ways of getting how much money we're making on our site and what's moving the best and selling the best. But yeah. Jeff, you want to share some more things?
Yeah, so I'll go back and sign in as user 2. And previously we made the watching alert for the Adidas shoes. And now we could see, has this item been posted yet? We see yes, because if we go back to the dashboard, we see that someone in fact posted that item. So our watching alert is working. And one thing I forgot to mention was this view item similar to this button, which is you could see items similar to shoes in the last 30 days. So we see all these items in the last 30 days and they're all shoes. So you could do this for each item type. So if we go to bottoms, we see we only have one item that's in that category, but we see that. And then we can also do the same for tops. And as more and more listings get posted, like you'll see more of the similar items in the past 30 days. And yeah, I think that is it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, and one more thing. If we go to my bid history for a user that actually placed some bids, we could see the items that they bid on. So these denoted by the clothing ID. And we could also see like the frequency. So how many bids that they actually placed on a item. And also, like if you go to any of these listings, you could also look at that same bidder history of another user. So we see on this particular item, we have user 2 and user 3. So if you want to see the history of user 3, we click here on view, and we see the other item that they bid on, which is clothing ID 3. And it also gives like the price and like their bid ID on that particular item. And yeah, that's it.